the concept of a sanctuary city was something very bizarre to me. What is that? What is a sanctuary city? Well, apparently, if I go to the United States and I overstay my visa, or worse yet, I hop the border, I'm committing a crime, right? Like, what does doing that mean? It means that you're doing something illegal. Like, you're not allowed to hop the border. It's against the law, right? Now, the Americans don't want to change that law because they can easily just make it legal to go past the border. But for some reason, they don't want to change that law. Like, that is fine, all right? So when you do that, when you hop the border, it's also very important to know which border you're hopping. Because if it's the Texas border, that's fine. But if it's the border to the House of Representatives, that's January 6th, that's a riot, no. Okay? So like some properties are more public than others, I guess. The border, not so much. The fence to the White House, probably a lot. Like it's complex. Right? Like I think it would need like 5 years of academia studies in order to figure out which borders are okay and which ones aren't. For example, if you're Kyle Rittenhouse and you're carrying a weapon across state lines, all of a sudden the border is important, right? But if you're smuggling hashish, you're smuggling hashish across the Texan border, well, it's still a crime, but anyway, right, that's the problem in America. Like, even though you have the laws, apparently some laws are more important than others. Luckily, we don't do things like this in Romania. I hope that one day America will take a lesson from us and apply all their laws equally. Otherwise, get rid of them. If you don't think like something is important enough to be legislated, then don't have it legislated. Simple, right? But they have this concept of a sanctuary city. So what is a sanctuary city? Well, normally when you break the law, there are consequences. So, for instance, if in Romania, someone is to smuggle hashish across the border, and people find out, well, he gets arrested, probably goes to prison, and then he has to go back. The hashish stays here, though. I don't know what the police does with the hashish. It's marijuana, by the way. I don't know if you guys use that, but that's hashish. Sounds cooler. I think it's Turkish, though, the name hashish. But anyway, right, so I don't know what the cops do with them, but it stays here. The person has to go back. Anyway, that is what happens in a normal society, right? Like, if you commit a crime, you're supposed to be punished. There's supposed to be punishment. Why is there punishment? Well, the punishment is there in order to prevent people from committing crimes, because they're thinking like, oh shit, if I do this, I get punished. And secondly, well, you did something wrong, didn't you? And now you have to suffer the consequences so that maybe in the future you don't do it a second time. But in America, no. Like, they have these things called sanctuary cities. So apparently, like, this actually shocked me. If I go to the United States and, you know, I overstay my visa, I can then go to a sanctuary city and they're not going to deport me. So fucking bizarre. Like, imagine if this was for any other type of crime. Like, I don't know, you get in a bar fight and you injure someone severely, you hospitalize them. But there's like this city that if you go there, the law can't do shit to you. It's a bizarre concept, isn't it? I mean, it's blowing my mind when I'm thinking about it. Like, why is this a thing? So anyway, New York happens to be one of these sanctuary cities, and it makes sense that if you do an invitation for people and you're like, come here because it's a sanctuary, people are going to go. Some people are going to go by themselves, others are going to be transported by the taxpayers from Texas and Florida, much to the dismay of the Democrats, but it seems to be causing a couple of frictions.
In one neighborhood in Queens between night tenants and newly arrived migrants.
Wow, tensions are growing with not enough food to go around.
Why do we have to take the butt of everything, okay? This community here is already suffering.
The residents living in NYCHA's Queensbridge houses look forward to the mobile food pantries that show up weekly. But over the past year, they have witnessed 8,000 migrants move into their neighborhood, and they have also noticed the migrants are also starting to take their stuff.
They was first online for the turkeys this morning. If they tell you to be there at 11 o'clock, you get there like 10:30, 10:45, but they already out there. The line is from over there to over here.
Free food giveaways, especially during the holidays, have become a source of tension between longtime New Yorkers struggling to get by and newly arrived migrants who are using the system to survive. A month ago, one altercation got so heated between a resident and a migrant, someone ended up in the hospital.
We would never turn anyone away for a meal, but there simply just is not enough for both NYCHA residents and the migrant shelter residents.
Councilmember Julie Wan says she alerted the mayor to the growing tension in her community and was able to get $50,000 to increase the number of hot meals served inside NYCHA's.
I mean, it's like adding a patch to the problem, isn't it? Because one of the things that I've never heard a Democrat talk about ever is like, is there a cap though? Like, is there a number where you can say, all right, we took enough, we have no more room? Unironically, leftists on Twitter understand by no more room as in like patches of land. That's not what it is, because obviously, you know, you can build skyscrapers, you can build them vertically, so you can create more room. Like, it's not the living space that's the problem. But it's shit like this. Like, how do you feed them? Okay, like, they're here, but like, what do they eat? That's what no more room means. It doesn't necessarily mean that they don't have spaces to walk. Although, with sufficient number of people, even that it is possible. Right, so, they got themselves in a pickle now. Very interesting. It's creating tensions within the community. And this is something that people like myself have predicted since 2016. You would think that the American government would hire me by now. Like, I'm making such accurate predictions almost constantly that they should be like, holy shit, with this guy, we can fix the economy. And we can predict things that are happening before they actually happen. He's like an X-Men. He's got superpowers. Got a crystal ball and shit. It's kind of like math, isn't it? Like, space is finite, so if you keep adding in a space, eventually you run out of space. It's interesting how the left talks about sustainability, right? And it's like, this is not sustainable. Oh, we need sustainable energy. But when it comes to immigration, like, there is no such thing. It's like, no. The more, the better. It's like, but, yeah, but, like, no, there's no limit. But how much more? Can we stop? Never. So, it also shows, like, the not in my backyard thing, right? Because they were very proud of the concept of a sanctuary city. It's like, well, we're more enlightened than those evil Southerners. We have transcended humanity, and we're now at a different moral level. We're like Captain Picard in his little starship looking down at the evil people from the primitive planet. And we're not going to interfere because of the Prime Directive or something, right? Like that was their mentality. But now that the thing is happening in New York, oh, there's too many. Oh, we can't feed. Oh my God. It's like, what do we do? I don't know. Call your fellow Texan. Right? Do you have a Texan? Why? Are you racist towards Texans? Why don't you want to talk to Texans? Call your fellow Texan and that's how they did it. I'm willing to bet they have more immigrants than New York has. So how did they manage? Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.